Welcome to Luthier's Tips, Tools and Training from Crimson Guitars. I'm Ben Crow and this video is brought to you by the constant hunt for new ways to do things. I am in the process of planning and testing and trying out some very interesting things with regards to inlays. Watch this space. And in the process, I have started playing around with different ways to mark out the inlays that I want to cut. And I thought, hey, tattoo transfer paper. I kind of maybe sort of went and bought myself one of those awesome tattoo printers as well. But, you know, oh, tattoo printer. Can you imagine if you just got you printed your tattoo on and it was done, no pain, no, yeah. Anyway. Burn it. A lot of us do not enjoy working digitally, and the assumption is that this stuff can only be used with a printer, and well, that's not actually true. This isn't necessarily new technology. In fact, it is not. If you spend a lot of time in antique shops, you might be able to find some vintage carbon paper, or maybe people still make normal carbon transfer paper for making multiples when you're using your typewriter. I don't actually use any of my typewriters. They're just there to look at, that's that. But back to doing things by hand. You can very gently, if you want to, sketch a design onto the upper layer, like so. So, you know, play around with the sizes that you want and get your thing perfect. And then you remove the interstitial layer, if I can get there, and transfer it over. Alternatively, if you're working with an existing shape, it's not beyond the realms of possibility to duplicate this and then create yourself a stencil that can be used to make more, or can be used to mark onto a fretboard for where you want to cut. Now, one of the issues with guitar building and putting inlays in guitars in the first place is that you tend to be working with very delicate material, and when you're marking onto the fretboard, you're trying to hold a very delicate thing onto a curved surface. The traditional way to do this is to take your inlay, put it in place, hope it doesn't move, hope the neck doesn't rock, which it just did, then hold it in place, and with it not moving, mark around with a sculptor blade. It is not, it's not easy, and this is a very chunky sort of mother of toilet seat bird inlay. An alternative, as I discovered during the recent pewter build, is to glue the inlay down, and that was a particularly delicate cast pewter Crimson Guitars logo, and it was so delicate I just couldn't do anything with it, and I glued that down using rabbit skin glue, which is something that dissolves very, very easily and quickly with the addition of the simple solvent that is slightly warm water. That is an alternative. But what we've got here is a way that we can mark whatever we want, whether onto the inlay material or onto the guitar into which you are putting the inlay, using a bit of paper. Granted, this whole method is a bit of a moot point if you already have the inlay. There are easier ways. Just trace around it onto a flat piece of paper and then put that on your fretboard and cut through. These are things we've done before. If, however, it is an inlay that you do not yet have and you want to make replicas, you want to cease messing around with sharp sculptor blades on curved surfaces, this could be interesting. On top of that, if you have a digital version of an inlay that you don't want to hand draw, yeah, that's where it gets interesting. Now, once you remove the protective paper, it's just a case of going over the design with some pressure. And we're going to have this bird inlay perfectly replicated on the back of this piece of paper. Like so. Cut it out. And then choose the gaudy material of your choice onto which to apply it. And now this stuff, it's basically an antiperspirant deodorant. This is sold specifically for tattoo transfers. Oh no, can't pick it up now. Fail. Now, granted, oh no, I just moved because I'm a fool. Damn it. Not quite perfect because I let it move. Granted, this is a dark blue ink, and this only really works if it's being printed onto a light subsurface. If you are putting this onto ebony, it's a simple matter to put a small amount of white paint, white chalk, chalk pencil, something like that on the wood before you go. But using that image, I can now replicate that image multiple times, and I can keep a drawer full of these things for the next time somebody wants one of these. But really, it's when you're talking digitally that this becomes really, really interesting. I obviously didn't get any antiperspirant over on that corner. So I now have my, my ink on this plastic, and let that dry for a bit and have at it. This is a tiny, not quite pocket-sized, unless you wear very large overalls, thermal printer, and probably shouldn't have bought it, but it was 2 o'clock in the morning and I had an idea, and this thing arrived the next day. I'm sure you've all experienced the same thing. This is not, by the way, in any way sponsored by anyone, apart from my shopping habits at 2 o'clock in the morning. Turn it on. You've got to hold the thing down for 3 seconds. You've got to remove the interstitial layer of paper, and also, for some reason, this yellow backing thing, probably, to be honest, in a different order than I've just shown you. This is a new toy that I'm playing with. Come on, mate. This is supposed to be quick and easy. It's not quick and easy. Okay. So that just feeds into your printer. And then all you need to do is play on your phone for a bit. And we're all pretty good at, you know, whiling the hours away playing on our phone, aren't we? Okay, so this is the app that belongs to this particular printer, and it's connected to the printer via Bluetooth. And this is the thing, you can choose a million different images. So in this case, there we go, this is the screen you want. So you can take the image, move it wherever you want, edit the size. You know, let's make it 50 millimeters. It does all of that. Click save, and we can go and we can print again once I've loaded the paper up. That goes in. There we go. And yeah, you just on the app press print. Yeah, I've put the paper in. It's done. There we go. Tiny, tiny butterfly. It's a bit loud. Okay, so yeah, just a random bit of wood. Put that on. Obviously, you want to make sure it's in the right place. I think we're all thinking it, but actually, this is a very, very cool way of getting an image onto a guitar and just leaving it under the finish. Generally, I'd leave that for, well, 5 or 10 minutes, but there we go. Something to play with. Do that if you want to engrave into a guitar, you want to put perfect letterwork on and you don't want to buy a, I don't know, 10 grand laser cutter, or potentially you're trying to get this etched into something with a carved top and you don't want to spend 100 grand on a laser that can figure out curved surfaces and things. The possibilities are endless. The only caveat is, as I said earlier, if you're trying to transfer something onto ebony, etc., you're going to have to add a layer of something lighter colored so that you can see what you're doing. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. What would you use this for? Am I wasting my time and money? Should I not be allowed to buy things after 2 o'clock in the morning? At 2 o'clock? Yeah, I think that's a given. Yeah, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe. Love you guys. Goodbye.